Welcome to Clash of Health. If you've been here before, thanks for coming back. And if you're new to the channel, thanks for coming today. I'm just going to get right into a kind of a 2-day part Akashic weather report. I have not been getting much in the Akash recently. I've been kind of going in more for personal reasons, post-hurricane, and just kind of rewiring my own nervous system, even though I'm very much safe and have been the whole time, thankfully. So that's why I haven't been putting out Akashic reports, and I just got internet back in Asheville recently. So anyway, here's a report for last night and this morning. Both times when I went into the Akash, it was kind of like a blank slate. I haven't been using in the last couple of days my normal segue in because I'm actually out of town again. But here goes. Here's what I got. I see a lion and it has cubs, the Candyland game. Hasbro came up. I don't know if Hasbro is the maker of the Candyland game. I saw Trump with a king's hat. And then I was taken by Jesus to the sisters, the Council of Light, sat with them for a bit, saw like a purple landscape with multiple colors, including the color red. I was told to have peace in your heart, Lamb of God, take away the sins of the world. I'm safe in Asheville. Safety rests within. The God forces upon us. And then just kind of jump over some personal stuff. Embrace what you have, not long before changes. Iceland, St. Petersburg, Massachusetts, elections, Senate race, China trying to, I saw China and like typing. I see a woman tweaking who's on drugs. Congress approves the Bill of Rights to be signed. I don't know if that's like in the past or what. Election, Alaska avalanche, Museum of Arts emptied, bomb scare. I think there was something I looked up last night after I got that one about something that happened in Raleigh. I'm going to try to tag these pieces to anything I can find in the news that might or might not be connected to what I got. I see a girl from Poland and let's see, rites of passages, Indiana, Sri Lanka, which I guess they did have some kind of flooding there in Sri Lanka that was pretty massive. I looked that up last night. Amnesty International again. Amnesty International keeps coming up. I have no idea why. Doesn't seem too positive, but I couldn't find anything negative in the news. So who knows? The future of the grid. I step on a grid. I'm navigating the grid. It's important for all of us to navigate the grid so we don't fall through the cracks. Ireland came up. Excuse me. Yes, sneeze. Excuse me. Ireland came up. Yugoslavia. I guess Yugoslavia doesn't exist anymore. I looked that up last night. I didn't really know that. It's just the countries of Yugoslavia. I wonder if it has to do with Russia moving out and beyond or trying to possibly. Unrest in Yugoslavia. And then there's a killer on the loose, the Doors song. So I looked at the meaning of that, and boy, does that seem really dark. I actually needed to put on some kirtan music after I watched a video about why Jim Morrison did that song. Apparently, he based it on this hitchhiker killer who killed all these women. And then the song like marries the end, and it's almost like he's dealing with his own shadow, according to this video. about him in the song that he found a woman who was redemptive for him. So all I could think about was like good and evil, like merging, almost like The Stand, and that we have a choice in which direction to go in. But ironically, and this is how, our phones and how pop-ups come. I got a pop-up about Highway 80 horror, 5 headless bodies abandoned on the highway. So don't know if that's why I got the song last night or not. Let's see. Will Asheville rebuild? I got a sense. And then the song, "Oh Come All Ye Faithful." So it was really important to have a spiritual compass in order to navigate the changes that Asheville's going to experience and all cities probably will experience to some perspective or another. Um, Again, the song "Birds Flying High" by Michael Bublé, navigating the changes, go with the winds. Um, Again, the message, don't get left out in the cold. Da, 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 da. And then today I saw this Indian chief that came through, and then fairies holding a sign, "Home found on the inside." So our home is, no matter how unsure we are about the future and what's residing outside of us, that everything can be found on the inside, and home is really in the heart. Grief work, a palette of possibilities, come hither, come far, you know where you are. Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, I feel the future coming fast, waves of darkness and waves of light. It's just like, woo, coming at me. Let's see. Sorry, my handwriting is so terrible when I do this kind of work. You have, it's always my handwriting's always terrible. It's probably better than usual. Um, don't worry about any kind of resources. You are protected. River of change, empty room, ceiling or cellar of possibilities in an old treasure chest. Finding your way to the truth in the darkness. It's okay to stay in Asheville, I asked, and they said, absolutely. Maybe things will improve there. They said, count on it. Picking cards. So I decided to pick one of my cards that I use sometimes when I'm in the Akash. It's a deck that's written specifically for the Akashic records, and I got the peacefulness is found on the inside, and it doesn't matter what's happening on the outside. So it was the exact same message in the card that I was getting at the same time in the Akash, that it's all inside. Keep the peace within your heart. Jesus came to me. He came at me this way. Recently, he's been kind of helping me lift up from behind. Today, he came forward and he said, "Sister, get ready. It's time to soar high above." Let's see. I see the town Tryon, which is in North Carolina. I'm not sure if they were hit hard by the hurricane. I'll try to find some information about Tryon. I don't know too much about it other than it's pretty close to Asheville. Teaching comes through for me. Sow what you reap, reap what you sow. We'll send helpers, call a friend. It was like a, game show, call a friend. And get ready for the harvest. NATO fringe dwellers, China with overhead planes, Taiwan, Taipei, Blitzkrieg, California, Nancy Pelosi, fighting for rights, RITES, Arizona Senator, US landmine of possibilities of what is next, a wide path that narrows, Patriot, like maybe against Patriot, Patriot, Confederate flags, Arizona border, Mexico, hotspot, arsenals coming into the country from there, BLM, light-skinned Black woman with freckles, underground. There is workers in Colorado, plots of terror, children trapped, be among those who witness with clear eyes that aren't distorted, truths of yesteryears, Morrow standings. January 3rd came up as a big date. And when January 3rd came up, I don't know if it has to do with the insurrection or whatever it was called, the January 6th, is that right? Insurrection. But it felt like in the future, January 3rd was going to come up and it would be related to that January 6th, but it will be in the future. And when that date came up, there was a dog barking outside of this rental that I'm staying in. And it just seemed like pay attention because that's the first time I've been here a couple of days. That's the first time I heard that dog bark and it was really barking. Let's see. Amnesty International came up again. Witness, do not partake. Another date, April 16th, 2025, maybe. Korea, Ho Chi Minh Trail, Paraguay, Uruguay, new leadership, role models for change, seas crossing. I don't see either Kamala Harris or Trump winning. See like a Hitler-like person. We need strong nettings so don't fall through the cracks. Let's see. Personal message, the Netherlands, Hawaii, dark circle, South Pacific. Really had to pull through that word. I couldn't like think of what it was, and it was like the South Pacific. So like a dark circle, like almost like that area was going to be mined by this cabal that really wanted to take resources and they were going to go at it in that area. St. Peter Rock, the church. I go into a gold mine. I pick up gold treasures. I hand it to heaven. Hold heavens. People in power will change roles with one another, they'll leave and new roles will be taken by others. It was almost like a robotic change. Orderly new world order, treason. All will fall before the eventual rise. Watch, do not partake. Cousins marrying each other. Days of past, inbred. Ismael. Then I joined the Council of Five. There was a candle vigil, purple, blue hue. Find your own truth. Don't impose on another. Holding your truth is enough. Praying for family, which expanded out in like these concentric circles. Because I've got some personal stuff going on with some family members who are not feeling well. So I was sending prayers to them in the Akash, and that kind of reverberated out to the collective. Remember the significance of the dog barking next door. Again, that date, January 3rd. Feels like in Asheville, it'll be in the thick of it, but I also saw the preciousness of Asheville. And then I was told to have a beautiful day. So I didn't really get anything specific about any, like with the Nancy Pelosi thing, I didn't get any specific about what that pertained to, nor with the light-skinned Black woman with freckles. I didn't have any idea what that pertained to. Yeah, it wasn't like tethered to any specific thing. It was just like flash, 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 flash. So that's the Akashic record. If you're able to unlock some of the codes of what all this means from your perspective, I'd love to hear from you. I noticed when I went back in and watched some of the videos that I did right before the hurricane, I could see these messages that had pertinence about, the one I did on suburban preparedness. The whole first part of it was about natural disasters and having water on hand. And if you're following Asheville, we, in some parts of the city, and outlying areas still don't have water, running water. So I thought that was really interesting. And that was my least viewed video, the one I did on suburban preparedness, which I thought was interesting. So sometimes Monday night quarterbacking doesn't help, but sometimes it does. So that's why I'm doing these videos. Thanks again for joining me, and I will hopefully catch you tomorrow.